In the Lakhimpur case, in fact, the trial against Ashish Mishra is going to start on the 16th of December. The big story here is that he will face murder trial in the Lakhimpur case. He is the son of the Junior Home Minister Ajay Mishra. Ashish Mishra was accused of killing 4 farmers and a journalist last year. Lakhimpur court has framed charges against Ashish Mishra and other accused in the case. The court has rejected his discharge plea on Monday. Now, the police charge sheet had accused Mishra of murder. Alok Pandey is now joining us with more details. Alok, so this charge of murder that has now, in fact, been set by the Lakhimpur court is going to make it very difficult for Ashish Mishra, who's facing the charge of killing 5 people, to get out, because there were attempts and for a long time there was huge political uproar as well over the fact that he was free.
Well, you see, the charge of murder was always there. I mean, I just want to clarify that. He was booked for murder after the incident happened. But the controversy had come in when the police seemed to be dragging its feet on actually taking action against him till the Supreme Court intervened, and then the police arrested him. So he has been charged with murder all along, but it is a significant day today because the court has accepted the police charge sheet in the terms that it has now called for a trial. So in any legal procedure, what happens is that, a case is filed against a particular person, the police investigates, it files a charge sheet in court, and then it's up to the court whether it wants to accept or reject that charge sheet. If a charge sheet is rejected, then the person does not face any charges. But in this case, the police has said, the Lakhimpur court that is looking at this case has said that a trial will happen, and that the charges that have been framed include the charge of murder that finds itself in the police charge sheet also. Just to refresh the memory of our viewers about what this case is, though I'm sure many of us have tracked it given the nature of the crime that took place. Last October, 4 farmers and a journalist were run over by an SUV in Lakhimpur in Uttar Pradesh, which is closer to the Nepal border. Now, these people were protesting the then farm laws, and they had also planned a protest against the Junior Home Minister Ajay Mishra, who was in the area on that day. Now, the allegation is that when Ajay Mishra was going to his native village, some of these farmers showed him black flags, and Ashish Mishra, his son, and some others, 13 others, they ganged up, got into 2 SUVs, came back to that area and ran over these farmers and 1 journalist, killing them on the spot. 3 other people were killed from the other side in the violence that followed. Now, this is what the case was. I remember traveling to Lakhimpur at that point of time and seeing that while the Uttar Pradesh police did file a murder case the same day or the early morning the next day, they dragged their feet on arresting Ashish Mishra for a full week, and it took a Supreme Court hearing and, the Supreme Court's intervention for Ashish Mishra to finally be arrested. If you remember, earlier this year, I think in January, Ashish Mishra also got bail. He got bail from the Allahabad High Court. But then a challenge against that bail went up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court cancelled Ashish Mishra's bail. And since then, he's been in prison. Now, the framing of the charges means that the trial in this case will start, and the date has been set for next Friday, which is the 16th of December. So that is what has happened. Who is Ashish Mishra? Again, a question that most of us know the answer to. But Ashish Mishra is the son of the very high-profile Junior Home Minister Ajay Mishra, who's the BJP MP from Lakhimpur. And Ashish Mishra, of course, like I said, has been in prison for most part since his arrest in the last year. But now that the trial is beginning, perhaps the families of those who died, of the victims, the 4 farmers and the journalist, will feel some sense of hope, or at least some sense that the case will move ahead in court now.
All right, Alok, also very quickly, since you're saying the trial is going to start on the 16th of December, I also want to know from you, how are the victims' families placed? Because many, in the past have alleged, and in cases where political personalities are involved, coercion or pressure, have the families of victims ever claimed anything of that nature? And how will the witnesses be protected in this case as well?
See, a lot of the key witnesses are already under police protection. And you are right when you say that in the last year there have been multiple allegations by some of these witnesses that they have been threatened and intimidated by those who are close to the Junior Home Minister's son. In fact, when Ashish Mishra had got bail and that bail was challenged in the Supreme Court, this was also one point that was made, that this is a high profile person, a high profile accused who has the power to influence witnesses, and that is why it is very important that he stays in jail at least till the framing of charges. If you remember, concurrently, Ashish Mishra has also, appealed the dismissal of his bail. First the Allahabad High Court gave him bail, the Supreme Court cancelled it. Then he went back to the Allahabad High Court for bail, but the Allahabad High Court dismissed it. And then he went to the Supreme Court in appeal. So the Supreme Court had, in the last some time, asked the designated court in Lakhimpur to take a call on the framing of charges and on the discharge petitions that Ashish Mishra and the other accused had filed. So the court did take cognizance of that, dismissed the discharge pleas, and has framed charges today. So perhaps Ashish Mishra will also now go back, or his lawyers will go to the Supreme Court and say that charges have been framed, so our client should get bail. But it's a heinous case. It's a very shocking, sensational case, and one waits to see how that pans out. But yes, you are right when you say that witnesses, in fact, multiple witnesses in the past year have claimed threats and intimidation. All of them, or at least the key ones, are under police protection already. And they, I am sure, will keep on pressing that Ashish Mishra should stay in prison for the duration of the trial, because they still believe that his presence outside prison or his release from jail could end up intimidating or threatening witnesses. Lawyers from his side have already always said that he does not have an intention of doing so, and that his guilt or innocence should be determined in a court of law. And that is what is now going to happen before court, as the first court that has to try the case, the Lakhimpur court, starts doing that next Friday.